What's up guys, it's Michael here. In this video, I'm going to share with you what is it like to see behind the scenes from not my perspective, but from other people's perspective as a business owner. Before we jump into the video, please click the like button down below and a subscribe button. Also comment if you want to see more videos like this in the future so I can find other people to talk with and get an understanding what is it like become a business owner in this age in 2021 and post-pandemic. So write down a comment down below and let's get into it. Nice to meet you. I'm Michael.
Nice to meet you.
What is your specialty? I want to know what is your background.
I am a tax and accounting specialist, so I help mostly startup company to keep track of their accounting and help them to be tax in compliance.
In the state of California, correct?
Yes.
So a lot of people ask me on this channel is if someone comes in, let's say like I was a newcomer, right? And I want to start a business. And let's say, you know how today many of the people in my age, like the millennial age, right? When they come in, they want to start up a business. So what's the first thing that they should do?
When they start up a business, and besides thinking of what you need to sell, what kind of service you're going to provide, your product and your supplier, I think a lot of business owners, they start a business so quickly, so organic. At the beginning, they ignore how to keep track of their record, their accounting record, and forgot to keep track about the tax, how to in compliance with tax. A lot of people come in will ask me what type of business, what type of company they should form, and what accounting work or tax work they should pay attention to. So a lot of them were really confused at the beginning. They're very confused what type of business entity they should set up. So we can start from there.
So when they start a business, right? So they have first you have to register with the state. What's the difference between registering a business with the state and filing, like I say, like a trademark if they want to trademark a product?
Maybe we can start it from what type of business entity you should set up. You're thinking of. So basically, it's pretty simple. Basically, there are only a few type of business you can form.
Does it change differently from like state to state? For like a lot of people say these days, as you see in like post-pandemic, like people are moving out of California because they say it's really difficult to start up a business, which I personally understand, and why they're moving to other states. Do you see why a lot of people like move out?
Well, legal entity is regulated, governed by state at the state level. So you form a company, you form with the state. You don't form with federal government. So let's say you live in California and your business mainly operate in California. However, you want to form a company in Delaware. So you can also form a company in Delaware. However, if you operate in California, you still have to register with California as a foreign company. So a lot of people, they don't understand that. Why people want to form the company in Delaware, they have multiple reasons. It's because the corporate law in Delaware is different than the corporate law in California. So first of all, you need to figure out what type of business you want to form, like what type of business entity you want to form. Second of all, you want to find out that or make a decision where you're going to form your company, in California, in Nevada, in Washington, in Florida, or New York. So then it really depends on your business need. Second thing is after you form the company, of course you operate, and then you need to pay attention to accounting, how to keep track, set up the accounting in your for your business, and then in tax in compliance.
So basically, if someone wanted to come and start, like what type of age bracket do you recommend people start? Like for me personally, I say the sooner the better. But from your perspective, what do you think?
There's no age limit. There's no age limit. So
why makes you say that? There's no age limit. Because today a lot of people say maybe the older you start working a job, then you can maybe climb the corporate ladder. But for me, I see that differently. But in your perspective, how do you see it?
It depends what you like. Depends. Some people, they're happy. They go to work 8 o'clock and get home at 5 o'clock, and they're happy. right? Some people are not
Sure.
happy when they go to work and they not satisfied with the paycheck and they want more. Maybe they go to school to learn a skill set that they only can do certain type of job, but yet they're not happy with the job and they want to change and try something else. So then it really depends. It depends on your personal preference, mostly your passion, right? Some people they start a business when they're 18. Some people start their business in their 40s. Some people start their business in 50s. Like me, I start my business in my 40s.
So we're like as a tax professional, where do you see most people coming in? Like when your type of clients come in, what type of age bracket? Is it usually like people are younger, older, or like for example, foreign investments?
Well, it depends what type of job, right? A lot of startup company, a lot of smaller company, they come in, they're very young. The people come in very young, like they can be in e-commerce business, or they can be internet influencers, or can be in retail wholesale. They're probably younger, and when business growing bigger, oh, it could be older. It's just no age limit. Basically, you can see younger or older people. It's just people come in with different purpose, form the business, a different passion.
So when you comparing like startup companies, do you think California is easier to start one up or like Texas? Because it's like two different,
No, it's
states.
just a lot of people misunderstood that. A lot of people thought that they form a business in a non-tax state
Yeah, for
that
example, like Montana.
will
Yeah.
help them not paying tax, a state level tax. That's not true. So where you pay tax is where you have your footprint in.
Your
What I'm
operations, right? Yeah.
right, what I'm saying have footprint in meaning that you enter that state to do business, then you need to pay tax. You need to register in with that state. You need to pay tax with that state. So go back to the example I have earlier. If you form a company in, let's say, Nevada, they don't have personal income tax. You thought that, oh, I can avoid paying tax. If in that case, no. So what you form a business in Nevada, what it meant is that in case there's any litigation or against your company, or your company get into any legal matter, you need to go by the Nevada law to resolve a certain legal issue. For tax, from tax standpoint, it go by where you are. So if you form a company in Nevada but you don't have physical presence in Nevada, but you have a company office in New York and California, that means you probably need to register with New York and California and pay your share of tax in New York and California. And Nevada, you still have to file an annual statement, or
So
every state
I see.
require annual
So
statement.
basically, if you operate in two places, then you have to sign up for both places.
Right.
And pay
So,
whatever due diligence.
right. So what I meant, you have footprint in meaning that you have asset, you have office, or you have employees in that state. So that means you mark a footprint. So a lot of people doing e-commerce and e-commerce business, they were thinking that I did not get into that state. But no, not exactly.
So they have
But
operations, so you still have to pay it.
right. So if you use Amazon, so Amazon to deliver goods for you, you ship the goods to Amazon. So Amazon have their warehouses in multiple states. So when your product is stored in those Amazon location, that is actually mark your footprint in that location. So you will may require to file with that state. Depends on the threshold or your exposure.
So based on your experience, because for me, I'm basically 25, starting my business around 2, 3 years, maybe four-ish. And looking from your perspective, what's the difference you see from people like my age today trying to get into it, and what can you like recommend them, or say what type of experience that you have? Because a lot of people start businesses when they're older because they think that maybe that's the time they don't want to deal with it. What can you let other people watching know, from based on your understanding?
I think it doesn't matter what age you get into the business, and it's the same thing. So in terms of operation, you go into all different area, right? So every business need to have a good accounting to keep track, so you know how much you make, where's your money right now,
Like a business model, right?
Yeah, you need to have a business model. That is, you probably know better than me. And regardless how old you are, you still need to know how much you make and keep a set of financial. And then you also need to be in compliance with tax. And that is basically universal to every single business owner. So if you start earlier, then you may be able to reach your goal earlier. Some people have owned their business later in the later age is because they just, it's life, right? You just have to go through different route and have different experience, reach certain point that maybe you want to change. Like I worked for a corporation for many years, and I have been asking myself, what am I going to do next? Am I going to retire in this corporation?
Work until basically retirement.
Right, and then just have a very easy life, just make my salary, or I'm going to change. So
what sparked you to change, like move out, working those big corporations?
There are uncertainty, actually. It's the uncertainty. I question myself, what if I'm getting to 55 or 65, I have to retire? Then what? What I'm going to do?
Yeah, because you're under the mercy of basically your employer, right?
Right. What I'm going to do. So it's not, maybe I can put it in a more positive way. It's not really like the mercy of the employer. It's just that I ask myself, then what? Right? I do not want to stop working when I'm in my 50s, but yet I don't want to work myself to death until, like, I don't know, if I'm lucky 80. Then and also at the same time, I was a little crazy and thinking to challenge myself, and I was thinking when I was not motivated when I worked for corporate. I was not, and
yeah, a lot of people in my age these days they don't like that. I can see it.
I was not motivated, so that's the reason I want to come out and have my own practice and see, am I really what they told me? When I say they, meaning that we all have an evaluation system in a corporate, each corporate organization, that I'm really not a people person. So I need to improve my people skill. So a lot of different elements add together. So I decided to quit my job. I did not have any support. I quit my job and I want to give a try. The worst to worst, I just go back and find another job. So because I do have the skill set to allow me to do that. So once I get out, I won't say that I struggle. It just life change. Just it's a totally different experience. So I always told my coaches or my colleagues, my friends, that every decision in your life, every decision you make in your life is a good decision. So if you remember that,
more positive mindset.
Yeah, so, everything is good. So
when you start up a business, how many years did you think they'll take to be successful? Because based on my understanding and like research, and usually about 3 to 5 years. What was your take on that?
Yeah, if you're consistently trying, at the first year you may struggle a little bit. Struggle may not be a good word. The first year you probably is a testing, experimentation. So and that is a time that you develop your network. So you're doing something totally different than what you did before. You try all different ways. It's kind of like an R&D stage. So normally, when I first came out, a lot of business owner told me that it took them about 3 to 5 years. So, and it happened. It's really started from maybe the second year. and we can see the changes because we didn't give up. We try everything. So at the beginning, we don't have a lot of choices, and we took in clients like no discrimination. No, we still don't have no discrimination. So we took in clients, and then we just provide the best service we can, and don't take anyone for granted. Just be kind to everyone. So yeah.
On a difficulty scale, so from my perspective, I understand opening a business is extremely difficult. So if you had to say from as a basically a tax professional, and your difficulty scale, if you look at other like multitudes of businesses out of like 1 to 5, like 5 as being the most difficult and 1 being the easiest. Basically, when you start your business, how difficult do you think it would be?
Well, it was difficult, but it's not that difficult. It's kind of strange, right? You just have to go through that stage.
So basically, like it fluctuates, right? In the beginning, it's like 5 as the most difficult.
Beginning is always difficult, but I do sense that difficulty, but it's kind of strange feeling. I was excited. I was so excited about opportunity. I was scared. I was really scared, but at the same time, I was excited, and because that excitement, because that passion, because that.
So basically, you didn't really see it as a job. You saw it as more like a
game.
A game, right?
Yes, I saw it as a game. So I have nothing to lose at that moment. I have nothing to lose and just go out and meet people. And when I met people at the time, I was not thinking to get something from them. I was thinking that I want to learn from them. I want to learn from their experience. I want to see the business world through their eyes and see how they do it and why are they so happy. And that's how I started, like from one client and then move on to another client and just develop that network gradually. So after about 1 year, one and a half year, the second year, we saw the difference. And then when we went into the third year, really like most of the people told me that it took about 3 to 5 years to have a business running,
So a lot of people also want to know. So you're starting a business, right? You understand like the difficulty in going in, and of course, one more question on that part is, do you need adequate income in the beginning to start a business?
You do.
Because some people say like you don't need any money, which I don't find that to be true.
You do, unless you have a support system, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have a support system, everybody have to eat and have a house to live. And even though you don't need a very luxury lifestyle, you still need some money. It would be nice if you have a support system, you have a family to support you. If you don't, then you probably, what people told me at that time, you probably need half year of income. Like
about 6 months.
Yeah, 6 months of income to make sure you can when you go out there generate no income at the beginning, then you still can survive and still can go for your dream. So, or some people don't have the support system, you don't have enough money, you can still do part-time because everything it's making it so easy right now.
Mm-hmm.
So as long as you have the goal, I believe you can do it.
So I want to go to the next part is how a lot of people don't understand. Like you look at these days on how the news media portray things. I want to understand, because my perspective and other people's perspective might be different. Is basically I want to look at how is your mindset compared to people who do not work this type of field or open businesses. Is it completely different?